Testing, testing. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. I am here, back in Acot's Green, kind of like my second home. And I'm here with the English champion. After a few tough rounds, doing all sorts, preparing for his fight with David Adeleye. Our own English champion, Solomon Dacres, welcome back.
Yep, we're here, man, in the gym where we always are. Whether they see it or not, man, we're working all the time.
This fight's now creeping up. We once thought it was going to be March the 16th. We saw the frustration, you was getting ready. That time that's elapsed, what have you been doing? Because I know you're someone that's quite disciplined and probably would have been in the gym anyway, right?
Yeah, just been in the gym, training, sparring, got some sparring in Germany with Hrgovic as well, which was a good experience just before he beat Frank Sanchez. You seen what performance he put on, so I got some good sparring over there. So I still, even though I didn't have the fight then, I still managed to get some good quality and working with some top guys who were, was really sharp at the time as well, like, on good form. So, test myself out there and I know I'm in a good place.
To be fair, that's not the first time that you've travelled to do sparring. With Team GB, you're all over the place anyway. But even as a pro, you've travelled to get outsourced.
I've been everywhere. I'll go to anybody to spar, all the top guys. Even go on my own, man. Just take my gear, man. Just go. Joe Joyce, Tyson Fury, Dylan White, Joe Parker, Bacoli when he's up there in Fury's gym as well. Just I'm my ones, man. Just get my stuff and go. I've been Germany a couple of times to get good sparring. I'll just go and get the work in, man. You know what I mean?
It's all the names that you've mentioned, the heavyweight division, the UK heavyweight division. Sorry, I'm going to be biased. We've got the best at the moment. We've got some exciting names, some exciting fights. You're part of that. Talk to me.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to be a big part of it, hopefully. Just got to keep working, keep chipping away. And, put myself with, when I mention these big names, hopefully when I mention my name, it's one of them top dogs. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just got to keep working, putting a good performance next time. And yeah, man, just put myself up there and keep that UK heavyweight boxing scene on top.
That's the thing about you. You're somebody that's not necessarily out there in the limelight, but you do put a lot of work, hard work in behind the scenes. Sometimes it's hard for us to see. I know I've moaned about your social media before. We're not going to do that again today. But showing us what you do realise that it's more than just what you do in the ring on the night nowadays.
Yeah, it is nowadays. But, first, I'm one of them, I think, first and foremost, if I don't get that right, nothing else matters. You know what I mean? Nothing else matters. So I've got to put my due diligence in the gym, and then, when I put the good performance in, everything else will come. And I've got a bit of a point to prove in this fight because my last one was not a good performance. Obviously, I'm always in the gym. I'm saying I'm always training, but it was a short notice fight, and I'd been on the road travelling, sparring with Fury for like 5 weeks, so I hadn't really trained properly. But in my own camp, but that's behind me now. So I've really got to show what I'm capable of in this fight.
But it's actually quite good, and that the fact that you're open and honest, because at the end of the day, fights are supposed to test you. You're supposed to learn. This is all part of the journey, and it's the fact that you've got that kind of like benchmark there to say, you know what, I know I need to do better.
Yeah, because you can't. You can't be deluded in this game. You got to be real with yourself. If I have a bad performance and I think I've done great, then I'm gonna just keep repeating the same things in the gym and never get any better. So I've got to, be real myself and assess what I've got to do and improve. That's one of the greatest characteristics you see of these great fighters is their ability to improve. Look at some fighters who are world champions. Look how they've started and look how they go on and look how they improve. That's the difference there is how they can adjust and make themselves better. People look at Tyson Fury when he fought John McDermott and they go, oh, he lost that fight, he wouldn't be nothing. Start of his career, you know what I mean? And look where he got to, you know what I mean, on top of the world. So you just got to keep improving and keep showing up and keep doing your best.
What makes that calibre of fighter? Because you've mentioned that, and look, we're in the era, like I said, of social media. And I will come on to a comment that David Adeleye says, because at the end of the day, likes don't win your fights, bottom line. But how do you keep that drive in there to know that you've got to be better? Because sometimes you can get the money, you can get complacent. Oh, I won anyway. I don't really need to put that effort in. What is it in you that makes you know you've still got to put that effort in?
Yeah, it's just always been, when you come from not a lot, you know what I mean? You're always hungry for more, you gotta, some people learn that from an early age, the hunger, the drive and commitment. It's commitment over the years, you know what I mean? The dedication. to know that things don't happen overnight. It's people like me that things have never happened for me overnight. You know what I mean? It take a long time just to get where I am, and I'm in my eyes, I'm nowhere really from where I gotta be. So you just gotta keep plugging away, man.
Right then, March the 16th, went in the bin. New fight date, July the 20th. Nice midsummer fight, and of course it's in Birmingham. So we've got to shout out all the Brummies on this one. Make sure you turn up, make sure you buy tickets. You can get in contact with Solomon Dacres. You can get in contact with the gym. They're all selling tickets. If you're...
Tickets, man, we've got plenty of tickets for sale, man. Come and get them, just message me or whatever. You know, if you want to come get at me, I've got plenty of tickets.
We love it. You're going to have to try and sort out maybe a little backstage, so I don't know, a little day with Solomon. I don't know. Can you push it there?
I don't know. Might see if the security let you in or not, you know what I mean?
They barely let me in. But anyway, July the 20th, you're fighting David Adeleye. David Adeleye that lost via knockout to, obviously, Fabio Wardley, who's managed to keep his belts against his recent bout with Fraser. Talk to me about David Adeleye and how you know that you can control that fight. What makes you believe that you're the more dominant fighter?
I've just got to believe that in my own ability of what I do, and like I said, like the people I've been in, where sparring, all the experience over the years, you know, and I'm improving all the time, and I've just got to believe in what I can do. Obviously, you know, it's going to be a good fight, because when someone comes off a bad loss, they're not going to repeat that, you know, if they got anything about them. They're going to go back to the drawing board and pick up on what they've done wrong. So, you know, if someone gets stopped, you know, they're going to really have a point to prove. So he's going to try and tighten up everything, you know, he's not going to try and repeat the same performance. So it means I've got to be even more switched on, because, you know, if that was me losing, I know I'm coming back hungrier the next time, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I've just got to just be on my A game and just keep improving myself.
I like that, because it's the fact that you've got the peripheral view. Sometimes, listen, I speak to a lot of fighters. I ain't really worried about what my opponent's doing. I'm worried about what I'm doing. But you've still got to keep an eye. Like you said, he's lost. So you know that he's coming back hungry. So you've got to make sure you're more hungry than him.
Definitely. You can't.
Common sense.
People have had it where, you know, a good example was Chev Clark for his British title fight. That when he fought Zorro the other week, he got knocked out by upper tire, you know, flattened. And then he come back, and look, he went a full distance. No, I think it was almost a distance. Yeah, he got stopped late on, put up a really good fight. You know, he showed that he was really hungry to come back, because he really wanted to bounce back off that. You can't go in with someone like that and think, I'm going to just do the same, because lightning don't always strike twice. You know what I mean? So you got to be, you know, on your A game.
I love that. And I did get to speak to, obviously, we went to the press conference last week in lovely South London. And I did get to speak to David, didn't get to speak to yourself. Obviously, David was a little bit late. But one of the things that he did mention, which we touched on earlier, is the fact that he's got a bigger, he didn't say he's got a bigger profile. He says you haven't really got that much big of a profile. You don't have the engagement. So he doesn't really need to do the back and forth with you like that, because it's not really going to make that much of a difference.
Ain't gonna make no difference to me, I tell you that much. So I ain't even looking at all that kind of stuff. What that matters is winning the fight. That's all that matters to me.
That old school mentality, especially in like an era of social media, what makes you still stick to that like old school thinking, listen, I'm going to fight my way to the top. I'm going to work my way to the top. I don't need to be like Mr. Popular.
That's all that matters to me at the end of the day. You know, if Instagram was deleted tomorrow, it's not going to change me.
Man would be crying.
Yeah, certain man, it will change how they feel, and it will make the slightest bit of difference to me, because I'm still doing the exact same thing, and I'm still going to be just as good as I'm going to be. But some people, you know, they use the social media to make themselves look better than they are or whatever. It don't make no difference to me. You know, if an app on my phone was to go, what difference does it make? I'm still going to be hungry. I'm still going to be a champion, and I'm still going to try and become a champion, world champion.
I did listen to a snippet that you had with Queensbury the other day, which basically, you know, just said that it's a good fight. It's the right fight for you at the moment. I do agree. I do think it's a good fight. And I think that you've nailed on a couple of key points. He's not going to want to lose. You're going to want to perform better. People could say that maybe you should be fighting somebody else. He should be fighting somebody else. But elaborate on why it is a good fight for the both of you right now.
It's just like he's at a crossroads where he's just lost for the British, and I'm trying to go for the British. So, you know, two fighters that are there, you know, he fell just short and I'm just behind it. So really, we're there, you know what I mean? it's one or two ways. I'm gonna go that way. He's gonna go that way. That's the plan, innit? You know what I mean? So, we're at a crossroads.
Patience in the division, something that you have to have. I know you've been professional, for 3 years,
3 years.
yeah. The journey so far, it's not been easy, has it? People just think, yeah, you sign that dotted line, you get that big promotion, and everything's going to be beautiful. Talk to us about your journey.
Yeah, it ain't all. People think, you sign. Like, obviously, I started a sign Matchroom. You think you get load of money. You don't get load of money, man. You're just trying to get through. You need them fights to, keep yourself afloat and keep yourself in training camp and just being able to live the life. And, you've got to win as well, because winning is the biggest thing to, keep yourself progressing and keep yourself in the picture to keep earning. And, we're just starting to creep up a little bit now. But it's slow steps every time, but we're making progress.
When you change like promotional companies, because sometimes fighters start off with a promotional company. We've seen it with some fighters. Their contract expires, and then you never see them again. But I know it's been a hard journey, but you've kind of like fell on your feet because you've gone from one key promoter straight to another. So when they say sort of like count your blessings.
Yeah. Well, obviously it was good that I got the English title. And I was, I'm winning, undefeated. So it gave me the option, and, I had a bit of appeal to Frank Warren. And it really helped when I was sparring with Fury and that, because I was putting some good rounds in, and they put a good word in for me as well. Tyson Fury said, you got to get this kid, you got to snap him up, man, because he's top quality, So that really helped me as well, I think. A Matchroom, I could have kept going with Matchroom, but, Warren just gave me a better offer.
And he's got the absolutely beautiful stable of heavyweights. Listen, we've got to talk about what happened in the 5v5. A keen boxing fan, I'm going to go straight to the heavyweights. Daniel Dubois, somebody that I remember when I first spoke to you, you were sparring him and you were sparring Joe Joyce. Look at the way those two fighters, their paths have just gone completely in the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's the thing with boxing. You've got to just give yourself the best chance. You can't never take one loss to heart or anything. You've got to just keep going. Look at the opportunities Dubois got. He's took the losses. He's kept going. He's come back. Got himself some good wins now. And look at him. He's in there like number one ranked contender with the WBA. So, you've just got to keep on plugging away in this game. And he's young Dubois as well. So that really helped him as well.
Who did you have as the favourite in that fight?
Probably Hrgovic, just about. But I did think, if Hrgovic is gas tanking up to scratch, he's not going to sustain it, because he's had the fight with Zhang. He doesn't look very fit for the rounds. It was a close fight with Zhang. A proper slugfest, and Zhang's not got no engine really, has he? You know what I mean? So if he was both gassing on that one, then you know what I mean. And it's a thing with a lot of heavyweights. After 5 or 6 rounds, that's when you can see who's really about it, because the stamina, some of them ain't got the stamina to keep going and maintain. Hrgovic, the first round, I thought he's going to stop Dubois after us in that first round. He's clapping them right hands. I thought if he can keep doing this for 6, 7, 8 rounds, he's going to stop him. But he just fell to pieces, you know what I mean? And that's one of the big things, is having that gas tank as a heavyweight gives you all the opportunities.
When you say that, though, wouldn't you give a bit of credit to, obviously, Daniel, because he was able to withstand those shots and able to, duck under, come back in with his overhands and really put that pressure on Hrgovic when Hrgovic thought, it was like in his head, we're back in that sparring camp when you had to go to the hospital, all that mocking that he did, and he had to literally eat his words.
Yeah, I think Hrgovic thought this is just going to be a routine. But, credit to Dubois. Look, man, he was hungry to get back. It's like you say, if someone's got the better of someone, you're going to want to come back. He's going to have the hunger to come back. And you can see, credit to Dubois, he's fit, he's on form. And he just kept going, man, and just believed himself.
I've got to touch on, obviously, Wilder versus Zhang, it was at the time. I think many possibly thought the writing was on the wall, but you talk to us, your point of view.
I thought Zhang would win, just because I think the way he throws his backhand is a lot more sound, he's a lot more crisp, he's a lot more sharp with it. It's just boom, straight in and out. Whereas Wilder is a bit more wild with it and to land it. And I thought Zhang might get him with that straight backhand. And Wilder, he's on the back foot, giving up a lot of weight. The pressure, Zhang was sort of there or thereabouts, on the front foot. And, when he just clipped him, man, it was it, game over.
If you was Wilder's friend, and I've got to ask you, if you was his coach, what would you have said to him after that fight? I mean, there's lots of stories about retirement. Obviously, there's headlines with domestic abuse, etc. There's all sorts going. So when you look at maybe his performance, not that I'm making excuses, I understand why fighters need to have that clear mind going into the ring, because those outside problems can follow you in there. Not that I'm making excuses, but is it time for him to hang up the gloves?
Probably, you know, because his performances now, he would have been looking to, like, you know, be wiping these guys out. And yeah, I think it is, you know, it's a bad knockout, the last one. He's had a good career. Where can he really come back to now? You know, he fought Joe Parker. He was just fringe world level, which could have got him back into there. He lost. Fought Zhang, who's at fringe level. He's got knocked out. Well, he's not going to go down another level. He wants to just be in world title fights, and I don't think he's going to be winning a world title again. So maybe it's time. He's got enough money. Or he can just, you know, you're going to fight non-dangerous fight opponents is all he would do for a bit of money, but I don't think there's any point if he's got enough money.
And this is the brutal side of the sport, somebody that's gone from being like a world champion and how many defences. We don't need to get into the calibre of fights. He defended it and he was the WBC champion until he met Tyson Fury. Mentally, a losses. What does that do to a fighter? Because it's all right us, you know, sitting at home, taking the mick, you retire, whatever. We don't know how it feels to be you guys. What happens to a fighter when they have to deal with a loss like that? And it's a bad knockout.
Yeah.
I know you've never been knocked out, but
yeah, but I can imagine, like, I don't know, because he's had a good career, he could maybe sit back and say, you know what, my career's been, I'm satisfied with my career, I've been a world champion. At that point, maybe you say, right, you know, I'm not getting no younger, can leave it. Maybe if it was a few years ago and he lost, he might be hungry to get it back. But I think because he's at the end of his career, he's been past his peak, and he's had a couple losses on the bounce, the bad knockout. He might be satisfied with his career at that point. I've been a world champion, you know, I've done what I set out to do. Maybe if it was a few years ago, he wasn't quite a champion yet. You know, look at people like Klitschko who got knocked out early in the career, come back to be dominant champions. It's different then. But at his age, he's at the end of his career. He can look back and he can be satisfied with himself.
Potential rumours then, and I want your predictions. There's obviously rumours that Anthony Joshua is going to be fighting Wembley, September, October this year. Nothing's been confirmed yet. Frank Warren has the key to the heavyweights. So all of the heavyweights that he will be fighting are potentially with Frank Warren anyway. Give us your thoughts on how the fight goes if AJ rematches Joseph Parker.
Be a good rematch. You can see with Parker, he's fought 2 back-to-back devastating punches. You know, and he'll be hungry to get that back off Joshua, that loss. You know, he probably felt like in that fight he didn't do enough in that one. But I think he's got good confidence now. So that'll be a good fight to see where Parker's trying to, you know, get himself back up in the levels, see where Joshua is. That'll be a good one for both of them, I think. Yeah, that would still be a good fight, a good close fight, I think. I think it would be a close fight, yeah.
Zhang and Anthony Joshua, yet again, another one of Frank Warren's fighters.
Yeah, Zhang's just dangerous at that backhand. But you got to remember, Parker beat Zhang as well. And Joshua knows how to, you know, box and keep himself away if he has to, you know what I mean? He can adjust and probably move around. And I think he favours southpaws Joshua because he lands at the right hand with the southpaw, and he knocked Zhang over in the Olympics as well. So I think Joshua would probably fancy himself against Zhang.
And finally, you know, we had all this talk, oh yeah, it's going to be Hrgovic versus Joshua in September. It was almost like it was written for the Eliminator, for the IBF, whatever it was. And then all of a sudden, Dubois upsets the apple cart, and now it's like, not sure if we're going to fight Triple D, but if he does, how's that fight go?
Yeah, that'll be a good one with Dubois. You know, he's got confidence. He's very strong, Dubois, big puncher. You know, and Joshua's done sparring with him back in the day and knows that, about Dubois' power. Probably know about each other. Dubois is going to have to take less backhands than he was taking against Hrgovic because, you know, they'll be more damaging from Joshua. But, you know, I'm sure Dubois will be up for that fight, and it'd be a great opportunity for him. Another one where, you know, Joshua's got a lot of experience. He does know how to, you know, negotiate the 12-round distance, probably a bit better than Dubois. It'd be a good fight.
Your mate, Tyson Fury, obviously he suffered the loss to Usyk, a good fight. I enjoyed it very much, even though looking at the watch along I did, I was screaming that they should have stopped it, only because I thought he was finished. But then I paused and went, oh yeah, he's been knocked down before and he's got up. Whatever. Talk to us about what you thought about that fight and how the rematch goes. And I get it, you're his mate, so there's going to be a little bit of bias in what you say, and I understand that. I can appreciate that.
No bias. I think it was a great fight. If you look at it as a boxing fan, undisputed title fight, it was a great fight for boxing. Fury, after, when he got up to the 6th round, he thought he's got his number now. He's got Usyk's number. He's starting landing the uppercuts, landing the shots nicely. It was looking nice. And then Usyk turned it around. Great champion mentality, man. He's a seriously hard geezer. Usyk, man. He just keeps going. Great mindset. Come back. Like you said, he was half out on his feet. Fury. It probably would have been better if he put him over Fury for Tyson, because he probably would have took the knee, got a few seconds. Because he was that big, and he was on the ropes. He was like the top rope kept hitting him, and Usyk kept coming in it. So like he was kind of on his feet, but getting more punishment than as if it was a knockdown. But you know what? Undisputed title fight. You've got to give him the chance, let him ride it out, and he did. And it was close going in the last 2 rounds. I think Fury needed a big last 2 rounds to win the fight. He probably should have stepped on the gas a bit more. It was very close, and I think the rematch, Fury's gonna probably try and put it on him a bit more. I think.
Yeah,
I think.
Back foot, weren't he?
Yeah. And from the way he was talking, it was like I think Fury, he's never lost. So he felt, if I'm just boxing and moving, I'm going to win the round. But I think Usyk was nicking around them few rounds where he thought he was comfortable in there, not getting hurt for some of the rounds. But maybe Usyk was nicking them rounds. So he's going to have to put it on him a bit more, secure, close the show, I think. And I think he can do it, Fury. I actually think he can win a rematch. But Usyk's fantastic, man. So I think it'd be another great fight.
Usyk, obviously not a native of this country, doesn't speak that much English. You probably could argue, fair enough, he's going to have a huge social media presence because of, obviously, he's a world champion and now he's undisputed. But he's someone that's always, no matter what fight he's gone into, he's always been the B-side. And I spoke to his team and they've had this mentality, even when he was an amateur, you're not going to win that fight, you're not going to be able to do that. I think that kind of like gives the essence of Usyk as a man, somebody that's always willing to like prove people wrong, that will that he's got in him. Not everyone has that.
Nah, he's got his mindset is different. You could see from the years and years of dedication. He's a solid mindset. He's belief in himself, and he's just a hard-working, really committed, dedicated fighter. Proper throwback. Classic mindset. And look at the undisputed run at cruiserweight and now at heavyweight. He hasn't boxed in Ukraine for any of them. He's gone to everybody and beat them on the road. So, he's a different caliber, Usyk.
We love it. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. I know you're cold as well because you've just finished training. I'm so sorry, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, Solomon. And yes, July the 20th, get your tickets, hit you up for tickets, and Birmingham, let's show out for our English champion.
Yep, thank you very much and stay tuned.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.